Princess Diana's former butler and close confidant, Paul Burrell. Good evening, Paul. Now, let's be frank, you had your own very emotional cancer revelation. Was it last year? How did tonight's events make you feel, bearing in mind your own personal association with the disease?
Yeah, I felt very sorry to hear the announcement from Kate tonight. My heart is with her and William and the children. In fact, I wrote to William earlier this week and said, please assure Kate that she's doing the right thing. She is a woman, a wife, a mother, and our future queen. So when she's ready to tell the world what her problem is, then that's her prerogative. She shouldn't be pressured into it. I've said this all week. I've said these wild and speculative coverage of her health has been cruel at times. And I've always said that she should be given space and time to recover as she sees fit. She is our future queen, and we should take care of her. I'm just very sad that she's had to come out publicly and tell everyone what her diagnosis is. But I wish her well, and let's give her some space. Let's give her time to recover.
Yeah, so you think she was forced into doing this?
Well, I think, that the coverage, the speculative coverage on the internet and in the media has played a part in this. And I think it's sad that she's had to not take this casually and privately as any woman would, but as Princess of Wales, she feels that she should come out and tell the public. And I just think that's very sad. It's very sad for her family. And we shouldn't put her in this position because, she has 3 young children to look after. She's got enough on her plate without having to think about what we all think.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that. Paul, you mentioned that you'd written to Prince William. Do you speak to him often?
Well, I keep a contact because I care about them, as millions of other people do. But I have a special bond because I watched those 2 young men grow, William and Harry, and I care very much. I care very much about William because life is tough for him. People don't understand the pressure that he's under. Not only his father with cancer, now his wife with cancer, and the pressure that comes to him. And I think it's coming too soon. I think the king thought that he'd have these 10 years on the throne as king, giving William enough time to spend as a father with Kate and let his children grow and enjoy that family time. But, things are looking pretty grim now in the royal family. And I don't wish any harm on anyone, but, I just don't want William to be rushed into this enormous role too soon.
Paul, I can see how much you care about William and indeed, I'm sure, Harry, because you saw those boys grow up. You were around them during their childhood. And isn't it quite sad that at William and Catherine's darkest hour, he can't turn to maybe the only person in the world he should be able to turn to, his brother, Prince Harry?
Yes. Do you know, Ben, I've been thinking about that today. I've been thinking about the princess's wishes in her life, thinking about how she brought up those 2 young men, watching them grow, and knowing that William's job was to be Harry's wingman. And now that Harry's gone rogue and he's left the country and turned his back on his family, in fact, pushed them under the bus, I'm very sad that he hasn't got his brother there to lean on. Now is the time that he should be there. But of course, Harry's burned all the bridges and he can't be there. So William's going to have to rely on his aunt, Anne, to a shoulder to lean on, and other members of the royal family to help him once his father and his wife recover.
Well, look, I mean, Princess Anne, of course, an absolute rock and potentially one of the most underrated members of the royal family. But I really hope Harry and William sort it out. I've got 2 young boys myself, and I can imagine what you know of the late Princess Diana, how she'd be feeling seeing her boys in this situation, especially when William is going through such a tough time without his sibling. But Paul Burrell, I'll leave you to it. Thank you so much for your time.